Hi, my name is Matthew Bennett and I'm a badminton enthusiast and player here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So earlier this year, the junior badminton team at my daughter's high school was in danger of being canceled for the second year in a row. Then needed a parent volunteer to coach the team. They asked me to do it and I coached the team for 5 weeks. I came in hardly knowing anything and I left having learned a lot. A few of the players were very skilled, but most of the players were beginners, and I didn't realize how much of a gap there was until the city championships and we were playing against the elite players in the city. And that's when I realized that those foundational, basic skills make all the difference. I've seen it firsthand. So our team picked up 2 gold medals at the city championships. I knew in my heart that we could do many more the next year. That's why I created a pre-season skills class. It's a space for players to hone all those basic foundational skills. So here's a quick look at what this course will cover. Did you know that Pocari Sweat is Japan's #1 sports hydration drink? Now you know. The only place you can get it in Saskatoon is K-Market on Central Avenue. So go pick up a case today. It's like Gatorade, but it tastes like a mellow, sweet grapefruit. A little salty too, which is great. So good. The first thing we're gonna cover is gripping the racket, the most essential skill. The bottom of the grip is going to create more power, so clears, smashes, all the power shots. And then the top of the racket is for fine control, serving, precise drives or net shots. So for this we can do drills. We can practice switching grips rapidly in different areas of the court, depending on where you are and what kind of control you want. The next thing is the clearing shot. The clearing shot is arguably the most important shot in badminton because the techniques you're going to learn, you can apply to so many other shots. For clearing, we'll go over the proper grip, the proper preparation beforehand, footwork, and especially pronation, which is twisting of the forearm. And that's what creates the power in the shot. And all those steps need to be mastered. Once you have that, again, it unlocks many, many other shots. So we'll practice this repeatedly until you can do it with perfect consistency. Next is footwork. Footwork is almost the most important skill in badminton, but why is that? Why exactly do you need to practice footwork? The main reason is to get you to the shuttle quickly and in a stable position. When you're in a stable hitting position, you can actually make a good shot decision. You have a number of shots to choose from. If you're running back and falling over, it's a random hit, and that's the last thing you want. So the next section is shots. There were over 60 individual shots in badminton. We're gonna cover the essentials and we're gonna break them down and give you as many options as you can. The last section is service and return of serve. I've seen a lot of players lose most of their points just on the service and return of serve. We're gonna do repeated drills to dial in your perfect serve, and we're gonna learn all the different types of service to see what suits you best. One of the through lines of this class is consistency. How do you get to be more consistent? Consistency is one of the best life skills you can have in general. Learning how, or teaching yourself how to break down a task so you can do it really well each time is just a really good thing to know. And most especially do it really well under pressure when it really counts. So once you've built that great foundation, then you can actually use the team season to focus on tactics instead of learning skills. So that's a quick overview of what I think is important. I want to know from you what you think is important, what you want to learn, what you want to focus on, and we're going to facilitate that. That's what I want to do, is facilitate you having the best game experience possible. So here's a couple of cool things you can do in a private class that you can't do in a high school. High schools almost have no budget. Remember how we were fighting over shuttles? The equipment is not good. we can do a little bit better in a private class. Just the fact that the class size is a little bit smaller, you can actually have more shuttles per student. So you can do exercises called multi-feeding, which is just practicing the same shot over and over again. This is the bread and butter of professionals. They do this over and over again, and you have to actually have the shuttles to do it. Another thing we're able to do is video analysis. We were never able to do this in a high school setting. So for example, it's really easy to see here all the things that need to be fixed in this student's stroke. The throwing action isn't complete, so we need to train that. We need to break it down a little bit and rebuild it. Here's an example of a student that has a fantastic stroke. When it comes to footwork, he's off balance and not able to create a stable position. So that's something we need to drill and work on. These are some of the advantages we have and some of the things we can do to lay down that foundation for the team season. Thanks for watching.